So it's midnight, and I am, as usual, doing my midnight musings on love. 2024 is the latest year that I am thinking about love in my life, and what that means. I put together this program, and I'm constantly challenged by it in terms of this notion of us really challenging the concept of love as just being something that is outside of us, and really thinking about how critical it is to our health and well-being as a health coach, how healthy, empowering love with and for ourselves is to creating healthy, empowering love with and for others. So my challenge to you all tonight, when you're in your deep thoughts, and it's midnight here on the East Coast, but I see some of my West Coast friends, and I know it's earlier for you. So if you want to wait till midnight to think about this, you can. But what your definition of love is, I'm gonna offer up a definition in this midnight musing that I've been thinking about, and then I want you to think about your definition of love, and then how that applies to you and how you demonstrate that to yourself, because that's been the challenge that I've given myself in thinking about it, and it's really transformed a lot of the ways in which I think about my self-care. And that to me is where all of this becomes real. Because if I am not demonstrating self-love to myself, self-care just becomes this really disconnected notion that I have. And if I'm not loving myself and understanding what I need to feel cared for, then I'm not doing self-care. So I'm going to share with you the definition that I've thought about, and I would love to get feedback in terms of how you view love, and what's important to you in love. These are my musings, and I'm curious if people share it, have a different perspective. So what is my definition of love? What I was thinking about was this concept of being a mindset. And then I started thinking, well, is it really a mindset? Because love is so much in the heart. Maybe it's a heart set. And so I came up with this new word, heart set. So what do you guys think about that? So it's a heart set in that it's a way of being and believing in and valuing and practicing these three things. I'm going to give you three things that my love heart set is about. And the first is an abundance of intense feeling. Mostly good. If it's mostly bad, it may be a different kind of feeling. I'll say it that way. So really, really intense feeling. That's been my experience with love. And I want that for myself. I want that to be reflected inward. And the second is an awareness, a care, and a concern. Just a really intense tuning in to the feelings, the needs, the best interests of my beloved. And in the case that when I turn it inward, it becomes my beloved self. And then the last thing is a desire to be really intentionally, purposely, and unconditionally supportive, consistent, and show appreciation and value to. And that's what I feel when I feel love, when I demonstrate love. And so those three things, right? An abundance of feeling, an awareness, care, and concern for how my beloved is feeling, their needs, their best interests, and a desire to be purposely and unconditionally supportive, consistent, and show appreciation and value. And so I'd be curious if you think there's some other things that are missing in there. I really tried to think very broadly about all the loves in my life, my family, my friends, all the people that, just make me smile with the joy that I feel for them, some of whom are here. And I just encourage you to think about your definition. And if you journal on it. And again, think about what parts of it are simple and easy for you, especially when you're directing it outward, and what parts are really challenging for you and the easy parts and the hard parts of directing it inward. Because in that way, I think we can come to a much more connected version of self-love. And going to where I talked about before, really connecting with what self-care is for us. What makes us feel loved usually also makes us feel cared for. And so when we start putting those pieces together, I think we're going to be healthier. We're going to have healthier, not only relationships, but conversations, loving conversations. And sometimes love is taboo to talk about love at work. But working for myself, obviously I have this luxury, but I think it is a concept that would dramatically transform the way that we work together. And we need that right now. We need that healing, that space of this love heart set that we can all enter into and interact with. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. There is this power in having a healthy, empowering love for ourselves, in actually creating and affecting the healthy, empowering love that we can have with and for others. So, those are my musings for this evening. I hope that I would love to hear any comments about things that you think about when you think about love, and when you really, really deeply think about it, when you are late at night, like I am, musing on it, because it is, when I said an abundance of feeling, joy is one of the most prevalent feelings in that. And joy is one of the emotions that can help us recover from stress, bring health and well-being to our mental space, which can bring health and well-being to our physical space. So that's the goal here. The goal is to start to understand health as a really holistic concept, and to use love as a channel to improved health. So, I hope you enjoyed those musings. I'll see you next week at midnight, unless I go a little later.